And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and often correct the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind water types, uses, and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness: hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micronutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, now retired, now your virtual keto coach. And I will be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, Enagic 6A distributor extraordinaire. And together, we bring you the best of both worlds. It is, oh my goodness, it is Saturday, July the 10th. Can you believe it? We're like moving through the second half of 2021. I'm glad to see it, but I can hardly believe it. So, and today, this is call number 406. Hard to believe that too. And we're talking about the Reverse Warburg Effect today. And the question that presents to us is, does cancer have an Achilles heel? But before we get to that, I'm going to bring on our own Achilles heel protection, our fearless leader, the vigilant, consistent, persistent health advocate and health influencer to the stars and to the globe, Mr. Terrence Hope, Enagic 6A distributor extraordinaire. Are you with us, Mr. Hope?
Mademoiselle Singletary.
There he
Mademoiselle,
is.
yes, I am. Here I am. Here I am. Here I is. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So yes. Great to see you. I like to see the white and the bright outfit you're wearing. Very nice. Very nice. Good to see you here, as we are all here from all over the globe. Looking out there, I see us where entries in from India, from Dubai, from the United States, of course, from the United Kingdom. Looks like squeezing themselves in here. And of course, we're also live on Facebook and worldwide. And so glad to be here all the time, here on Kangen Water Radio, on our illustrious Kangen Water Nation program, the Kangen Water Health and Information Call. We really look to make sure that we're giving you the health information that you need so that you can be thorough in your understanding of what Kangen water is, how to use it properly, and how to get the best out of everything that it has to offer. You know, oftentimes our Kangen water machines have been referred to as alkaline water. Alkaline water units. They've been called these things for many years, and so for that reason, people have not, truly understood, its true name, its proper explanation, and then of course that has come down to how it is used, in the body. And so we look to clarify. All right, thank you very much. So funny, there's so much going on as we open our productions. Look around my computer, I'm looking, okay, where's this and where's that? And we seek to begin, of course, at the beginning. I'm very happy that Dr. Singletary has a subject matter for us today that will be enlightening and exciting and giving us greater and greater insights along the way. Very well, I'll use this. So what do we say? We begin at the beginning. Where is my opening? Oh, here we go. Thank you very much. And off to the races we are. Yeah. So As we all know, Kangen water changes your water, and indeed will change your life. If you have a healthier water, your body can function better. And the slogan, change your water, change your life, has been, I think, patented or trademarked by the Enagic Kangen Water Company. So change your water, change your life. Yeah. We're here today talking about the Kangen water machines. And as I reference again and again, Kangen water machines in science are known as electrolyzed reduced water machines. Electrolyzed reduced water machines. In the process of hitting water with electricity, you produce a number of antioxidant molecules and energizing ions. So when your body absorbs these, it can convert to energy immediately upon drinking the water. And it can also allow your body to detox. Yes, more description to come. This is one of our Kangen water machines known as the SD501. SD501, it's our 7-plate machine. We also have machines known as the K8 and the Platinum SD501 and even shower units. Yeah. What's happening on our water? Electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water is a process where electricity comes in contact with water directly. Yes. And when that happens, it allows for the production of antioxidant molecules through a process known as electrolysis. So electricity is hitting our water inside our machines. And here's an example of water, H2O, little molecule. We'll hit that with electricity. Yes, I'd like to think here I come, kapow, right? Hit that with electricity, and you get a division, a breakdown of the water molecule into its elements. H2O breaks down into OH negative and H plus. H2O is a combination of those atoms and ions. So there are various molecules that are produced in the process. This is known as an hydroxide ion. It has an alkaline pH to it. And it's used as a measuring tool of the overall volume of antioxidant molecules in the water at a time. It's because of this ion right here, hydroxide ion, that the water had become famously known as alkaline water. And people are thinking, oh, it's alkaline. Therefore, that your body's alkaline, drink alkaline water, eat alkaline foods, you'll be healthy. They missed the point entirely. Our machines are not, in fact, alkaline water machines. They're electrolyzed reduced water systems, producing water in a process known as electrolysis. And with these alkaline molecules that are produced in the process when electricity hits water, we can measure the overall volume of antioxidant molecules in the water at a time. Yeah. So people call it alkaline water, not quite accurate. So here's just an overall diagram looking at the various things that occur in the process of water being hit by electricity, and the division of the water molecule and the production of different molecular structures. This happens to be a diagram, an image of what water looks like after it's hit by electricity in relation to these hydroxide ions or alkaline molecules. But once again, there are more antioxidant ions within the water at a time. Yeah. So what's our overall goal? Our overall goal is to produce a water that's antioxidant. This diagram here is showing something called an ORP, or an oxidation reduction potential. We have these meters, which I actually need to have an image up of, that you can use to measure the negative charge or positive charge of a liquid substance. The negative charge or positive charge of a liquid substance. So some substances will have more of a negative charge. For example, Kangen water, negatively charged. It's letting you know that it is more antioxidant, able to remove toxicity. So we'll get a very high number on our ORP meter when we measure Kangen water with this device. Here it's showing from 0 to -400, but Kangen water is known to go as high as 700 or better, 800. On the other side of the spectrum, you've got positively charged substances. Positively charged substances are known to be oxidizing, not allowing the body to remove toxicity. Some great examples of that, or infamous ones, soda, for example, tap water, distilled water, reverse osmosis water. These are beverages that will cause your body or allow your body to hold toxins in it without releasing. One needs to be able to release toxicity. That's the whole purpose of actually drinking water, yeah? hydration to fuel the cells, and the ability to remove toxicity. More effective when you've got a negative charged water. Ineffective when you're drinking a positive charged substance. Soda, other tap waters, purified waters in the bottles, spring waters, they will all show up as a positive number on these ORP meters. Yeah. Here's a diagram of the process where electricity hits water, known as electrolysis. Give you an idea of what's going on inside the units that you've purchased or own or desire to have. The various antioxidant ions, molecules forming on the different nodes inside the system on the electrical circuit. Negative charge is what we're looking for with our water. Alkalinity and acidity. So many of you may have seen these charts in the past. This is showing the pH scale. 0 to 14 is this pH scale. Down here would be your 0. Up here would be your 14. In the middle will be 7. Half of 14 is 7. Yes? So it's color-coded for pH range. 7 is green, and that means neutral. Anything below a 7 on that scale is considered to be acidic. Anything above a 7 on that scale is considered to be non-acidic, or what they call alkaline. Yes? So it has been said that your body is alkaline. Drink alkaline water, you'll be healthy. And here you'll see it says poor health and then good health. Yeah. These charts, while well-meaning, are once again still inaccurate. What it's referring to here, or making the inference of, is that your body, it's often said, in an acidic state will be unhealthy, poor health. Yeah. It's out the way. Your body in an alkaline state would have good health. Well-meaning statements, but inaccurate. Your body has various types of pH ranges in different organs. Some organs have to be in the acidic range to be healthy. For example, the stomach, the small and large intestines, the female reproductive system. Some organs need to be in the alkaline range to be healthy. The heart, the bloodstream, the brain, they're more in the alkaline range. So it doesn't mean that the more alkaline your body is, the better at all. Nor does it mean that the more acidic your body is, the worse off you are. Not accurate. The various organs must maintain pH balance, pH equilibrium, for their assigned pH range. Acidic organs must stay acidic to be in good health. Alkaline organs must be in the alkaline range to be in good health, and with that as well at very specific pH levels. Yay. Let's skip ahead over here. There's my friend. Got these a little mixed up, but here is a diagram showing the imagery of the pH in different organs throughout the body. The stomach, as you see on the chart, shows to be in the acidic range. The large intestines and small intestines tend to be in the acidic range as well, going from 4.0 to 7.0, which is neutral. 4.0 being acidic to 7.0. So this is the range. The stomach from 1.5 to 4.0. This is the acidic range as well. Anything below a 7 on a scale for pH is considered to be acidic. Yes. So we look over at some other things I mentioned earlier. The heart. Whoops. The heart, the bloodstream, the brain. 7.1 for the brain, 7.45 for the blood, 7.0 to 7.4. It's actually about 7.45 as well for the heart. And then there are other organs more acidic. The urine will come out more in the acidic range to the alkaline range, depending on the stage of digestion and toxic elimination. The liver will be more alkaline. Gastric secretions, 1.0 to 3.5, more acidic. You see? So the body is not alkaline, as has been said and touted again and again worldwide. The body is both alkaline and acidic, and you must keep the range of the organs in their proper pH in order to be healthy. Yeah? Go back to my other slide. Oops. So your body is, in fact, self-healing. We know that when we look at the surface of the skin, or even down to the depths of the bones. Yeah. So that if you get a scratch on your hand or finger, you know that you wait a few days, very cute little child, and that scratch will be healed. If there's a cut on the arm or anywhere on the skin, we know that the skin is self-healing. Give it a few days, and we're sometimes just concerned as to whether there's any scarring left behind. But we already know that the body is self-healing at the surface of the skin. We're aware of that same self-healing ability at the depths of the bones. So if there's a fracture to a bone or a break to a bone, we'll put a cast on it to keep it still so that as it heals itself, it heals evenly, yes? So what we're not quite as aware of, or haven't been aware of, is that while we very much know that the skin and the bones are self-healing, we never really give much thought to the fact that, well, does this continue right down to the cellular level? Is this going on in all the organs? And the answer is yes. It doesn't change because it's inside your body, yeah? I give a quick note to our furry friends in the wild. The deer and the beaver and the raccoons and the rabbits and the lions and the tigers and the bears. Oh my, yes, I said that. We know that, well, think about it. Those who live in suburban areas of the United States or more tropical areas around the world, the parks, the public, ranges, the jungles. Notice the animals are never at a doctor. They don't require any dialysis center out there in the woods. There's no incidence of cancers, diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney failure, as a general rule. Why is that? We're the ones at the top of the food chain. We should be the healthiest. How is it that the animals are healthier than we are? And they take no medication. They eat what they're designed to eat. Look at the ecosystem here. Produce, foliage, protein. Animals eat animals. Water, what is available to them. There is 100% nutrition in what they eat, and what they eat is purpose for the body. So is ours. Protein and protein and produce, we can certainly live off of very easily, thrive and do well. But we get a lot of junk food in our cycles, sodas, Coca-Cola, candies, and all kind of things like that. So we have to be conscious of what we're eating, because the things we take in are not, in fact, not healthy for us. Yeah. So we heal well. Your body can build up with high toxic loads. Just like a fish tank needs to be cleaned, your body has to be flushed. And having the best water to detox you can, in fact, do that for you. Yeah. I just go over a few different, science terms here, but I like to give people references to go look up on their own and understand more for themselves firsthand the background of what Kangen water is. I'm going to show you something very quickly. I had some other slides set up, but they seem to have just run away. But that is quite okay. Where was that going? I guess electrolyzed. It's good. You can actually see where to do a search for yourself. Under the heading of electrolyzed reduced water, you will find a plethora of references. Kangen water is electrolyzed reduced water. You can see a great deal of information on clinical trials where studies have shown the benefits of this type of water that we use. Kangen water is our brand name, but electrolyzed reduced water is the name in science. So if you want to know what Kangen water is and what its benefits are, you would research the term electrolyzed reduced water on your own and go and take a look at all clinical trials have shown in terms of its benefits for the body and its health. I'm going to pause there so that Dr. Singletary can get back into the fray of things and take over and go into the subject matter for today. Does cancer have an Achilles heel? I like the title.
What do you think the Achilles heel might be, Mr. Hope?
Oh, well, I don't know. It's metabolism.
Good word, good word. This is actually, that's not the question I'm really asking. The question really asking is, what do you think we would be able to do as mere mortals to take advantage of the Achilles heel of cancer?
Yes. Well, of course, I'm a big advocate of water. And what kind of water? Electrolyzed reduced water. And I would hydrate, I would detox, and I would nourish.
The
Because
three-pronged
in
approach.
the three-prong approach, because in that body, in that frame, the body is at optimum in self-healing, and you might be able to experience some of the healthy lifestyle that our furry friends have out in the wild.
So I want to thank you, Mr. Hope, for your laying the foundation, laying the framework for us to think about pH and the amazing functions of the body. And I promise you, even though we're going into a little deep dive scientifically, I'm not trying to turn you into biochemists or oncologists or, just stick with me, because what we're going to do is give you a little bit of a more scientific, I guess, you've given the foundation, but more scientific corroboration for why doing the three-pronged approach is a good thing for everybody, but particularly when dealing with extreme issues of immunity. But before I start, should we take Margie's question? She raised her hand.
Sure. Eager Beaver, top of the list.
I just think it's very interesting that once humans interfere with animals, then the animals develop the same symptoms and diseases that we do.
Good point. Great point. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I did mention the animals in the wild and how well they do, and that you don't see the incidence of the types of chronic illnesses that humans experience among their populations, unless, as you mentioned, Margie, you bring them home and you feed them pet food and the things that the processed food you want to give to them, and then you get to see what cats with obesity issues, felines with diabetes, cancers, and so forth. What are they eating that's different than what they eat in the wild? Processed foods, pet food. We don't know what's really in that. What are they putting in there? If they're using preservatives, how beneficial or how toxic can they be for the body? What's really going on with pet foods? These same animals, if you look in the wild, the deer, there's a zero incidence of obesity among animals in the wild. All of them are the exact same size. No variations. They go to adulthood, the deer are slender, whatever, but with what they're designed to eat, they would be at their equilibrium points at all times, and they would be as their body is designed to be. So great comment, Margie, and that was good to add to what we spoke about so far.
All righty. So here's the question though: why is it so pervasive that this idea that cancer cannot live in an alkaline environment? That's the statement that I hear over and over and over and over again. And they base it, they say, on the work of Dr. Warburg. That's not what he said. And so what I'm going to bring you today is maybe a little bit of understanding of what Dr. Warburg actually said. But remember, he said this in the 1920s. And so we're learning some things through the years about, our enemy, know thine enemy, right? We spend a lot of money studying cancer. When I say we, the medical industrial complex. But, I think there's a little bit of hit and miss on, are we studying the right things? Are we putting the money in the right place? That's not completely the topic of this talk, but I just want to bring a little bit of understanding and a little bit of motivation maybe to really take seriously the tools that we have right in our hands and right on our counters. Okay, so I'm just going to bring one article today, and that article is, you can find it online, but now I can't find it. Where is it? Okay. Why can't I find it? Because I don't know, but it's coming. It's coming. So this article, there we go. Phew. All right, we found it. This article also gave me the title of my call, of this call. This was published in 2017 in the journal Onco Target. Now, Onco means cancer, oncology, right? And target, that sounds like a good thing, right? To target cancer. So that's the name of the journal. The name of the article, The Reverse Warburg Effect is likely to be an Achilles heel of cancer that can be exploited for cancer therapy. Now, this reverse Warburg effect was first published in 2009. So it's a very recent concept, but in 2017 is when it started to gain a little more traction. There's a little bit about it available, in the scientific studies, but there's more and more coming out. But interestingly, a lot of this work is a piggyback onto works in other fields, like in neurology, where, well, I'll expound later. So, the Warburg effect basically says that unlike a normal cell, so in a normal cell, which we use glucose as a source of energy. So here's the main slide. So this is showing a cancer cell, and it's showing glucose entering the cancer cell through the glucose transporters. We've talked about those transporters and how, the different cells in the body, glucose can't just go through the bilipid cell membrane. It needs a transporter. It needs a doorway to get through. And we've talked about insulin being the key that unlocks the lock on the door that lets the glucose in. Okay. So in this cell, glucose, which is a 6-carbon sugar, is split in the cytoplasm into 3-carbon sugars. So it's split into 2. And it can either be split into 2 pyruvates, or it can be split into a pyruvate and a lactate. Now, when oxygen is present and when normal mitochondria are present in a normal cell, that is gold, because from one glucose molecule, using the mitochondria, using the Krebs cycle, we can get over 30 molecules of ATP from one molecule of glucose. Not so much when you use just using fermentation in the cytoplasm. So if you're not using the mitochondria and you're just using the lactate in the cytoplasm, you only get 2 net ATPs from one molecule of glucose. So that sounds like not such a great efficiency, right? Here's the thing. It's a much quicker process to get the energy from the lactate than it is for all of the carbons to all the sugars to go through the Krebs cycle and, do get the most bang of energy for the glucose buck. So when you're doing a short burst of exercise, your cells, they don't have time basically for the Krebs cycle. They're like, all right, let's do as much fermentation as we can. Let's use that lactic. Let's just break it down to lactate. Let's use it fast. And when you're done, what do you feel in your muscles? You feel sore, right? Why? Because lactic acid is building up in your muscles, but you've gotten your job done. So you had a purpose for preferring that rapid energy source. So you're using a lot of glucose rapidly, as opposed to if you're going to take a walk, you're going to walk the dog, you're going to take a walk around the block, then your muscles are like, okay, this is a more ongoing need that we have. Let's go ahead and turn on the mitochondria. Let's get all the energy, all the ATP we can out of every glucose molecule. So normally that's what a cell or that's how a cell will process its use of glucose. Okay. A cancer cell, however, even if oxygen is present, even if mitochondria are present, a cancer cell prefers not to use the Krebs cycle. And I asked a question on a previous call, why? Why would a cancer cell do this? Why would a cancer cell prefer to make lactate than to make pyruvate and go through the mitochondria? Now, what Dr. Warburg postulated is possibly the mitochondria in cancer cells are dysfunctional. And so the mitochondria being dysfunctional and when they're dysfunctional, they make a lot of ROSs. Remember, we've talked about reactive oxygen species. These are the things that cause oxidative stress. So if the cancer cells putting pyruvate into the mitochondria, that's creating a lot of oxidative stress inside the cancer cell. And the cancer cell is like, no, thank you. We'll take the other route. Now, here's the interesting thing. The lactate also causes oxidative stress, but what does the cancer cell do? It gets the lactate out of the cell and it sets up an environment around the cancer cell, both in the interstitial fluid and in the cells around it. I'm kind of getting to the next step, the reverse Warburg effect. But what happens when the cancer cells push the reactive oxidation species out or decrease the reactive oxidative species? Then that sets up a good environment for the cancer cell to avoid cell death, to create new cancer cells, and to metastasize. And when it pushes lactic acid or lactate out of the cell into the surrounding tissues, then it stimulates something called angiogenesis. That's the growth of new blood vessels. It makes an acidic environment and it makes the cancer more invasive. So this inefficient use of glucose, quote unquote, really is beneficial to the cancer cell. Okay, that's Dr. Warburg's theory, kind of in a picture. The Warburg effect. This is interesting to me, though. Maybe I'll get back to that. Let's go on, because I don't want to get stuck in the weeds. I want to bring it home. All right, so this is a picture of the reverse Warburg effect. So here's our cancer cell over here in pink, and it is producing energy. It's producing reactive oxygen species, getting them out of the cell, just like it did in the first slide. But what happens to the cells around it when they are exposed to this oxidative stress? Well, there's cells in the tissue around the cancer cell called cancer-associated fibroblasts or cancer-adjacent fibroblasts. So these fibroblasts are a fibro, right? Blasts. Okay, so blast cells are cells that are creating things. And what these cells are creating is fibers. Like fibroblasts build us up. Fibroblasts are part of the process that Mr. Hope was talking about, the healing process of the bones and of the skin. And these fibroblasts are hijacked by the cancer cell. By increasing oxidative stress, the fibroblasts now turn on their glycolysis pathways and they start producing lactate, ketone bodies, fatty acids, these high energy fuels. And the high energy fuels are shuttled back into the cancer cell. And that is the reverse Warburg effect. So the cancer cell shuttles out oxidative stress, it shuttles out lactate, it shuttles out things that actually will make the cancer cell work less efficiently, but it creates a metabolic change. So you were right, Mr. Hope, metabolism. It creates a metabolic change in the cells around the cancer cell. And it says, all right, you guys have to work with me. You guys have to do what I do and give me the stuff that you're making. And so they all become little replicators to make more fuel for the cancer cell. So this situation of not using the mitochondria so much in the cancer cell, but hijacking the cells around it, that is a way that it makes energy, but also it keeps all those carbon chains that it's been taking in that it can use to make more cancer cells. It's mind-boggling. Okay. So the cancer cell here increases oxidative stress, and I call it, it's the same thing as if you watch a science fiction movie, they call it terraforming, when the aliens come from outer space and they take over the atmosphere of the Earth, or they tap into the heat of the Earth's core, and they release the heat into the atmosphere to change the temperature of the Earth to match their desired environment. The cancer cell terraforms the area around it with reactive oxygen species, with lactic acid. So it makes its own microenvironment. So when people say cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment, cancer makes its own environment. And that's the thing that hearing that so pervasively just not only infuriates me, it breaks my heart, because people get they go down a path that is really not necessarily serving them. So cancer sets up its own microenvironment with oxidative stress, and the oxidative stress causes not only the cancer itself, but the cells around it to undergo aerobic glycolysis. That's the using the pyruvate for us it would be anaerobic, but for the cancer cells they do it aerobically, making these high energy nutrients. Now, what does that allow the cancer cell to do? They can fight programmed cell death, so the cancer cells survive. It helps them to metastasize, and it helps them to be resistant to drugs, and it helps them to be resistant to our own immune system. Because normally our immune system will detect abnormal cells and destroy them. Just when your immune system is fully weaponized, fully on point, fully nutrified, fully detoxified, fully hydrated, the individual cancer cells or individual abnormalities that come up all the time, your body can take care of. But when that gets out of balance, so you're out of energy, you're tired, your body doesn't have the energy to keep up the surveillance or the DNA repair when these little point mutations happen, then cancer can get a foothold. So what's the Achilles heel? Well, what medical and surgical, what the current medical system does is we target the cancer cell. So the therapies are surgery, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, gene therapy, biotherapy, immunotherapy, right? And we're trying to do what we can to address things going on in the cancer cell. But what about this oxidative stress? What if we could nip that oxidative stress in the bud by doing what? Detoxing, antioxidants, full nutrition, fully having the immune system on point, and doing your lifestyle things, getting the rest, getting the sunlight, keeping your, I heard this the other day. I love this. Keeping down OPD. Now, what is OPD? You might know what OPM is. That's other people's money, right? OPD is other people's drama. Enough said. Okay, so this oxidative stress, now also this reverse nutrient transport is also a place that definitely could be explored for addressing cancer cells. But we've got the tools, right, with the three-pronged approach to address and decrease oxidative stress in the body. So that, ladies and gentlemen, very well may be the Achilles heel of cancer. And we've got it right in our hands. So now other things, for instance, we know dietary wise that increased carbs in the body increase oxidative stress in inflammation in the body. So first, do no harm, right? Cut down the carbs, increase the hydration, detox, and get complete macro and micronutrition, and let the body do what the body's designed to do. All righty, Mr. Hope. Any comments? And also, we are open for questions and comments. If you type them in the chat, or if you figure out how to raise your hand in the app, if you're on your phone or on the desktop, we will love to address your questions or comments. I also have just a reminder that I will be putting that article that I just showed you as well. Now, the article I showed you doesn't look exactly like that. Let me see if I can show you how it looks. Let's see, if you look up the same article on pubmed.gov, this is the article. Reverse Warburg Effect is likely to be an Achilles heel of cancer that can be exploited for cancer therapy. So it looks different, but you see right up here in the corner, there's a button that says PDF. And if you click on that button, you can download the PDF. And that is exactly what I showed you. That's exactly the article you'll get if you download that PDF. All righty. So questions, comments. So can you see why? I can see why people would say that cancer can't survive or can't grow in an alkaline, in an alkaline environment. I can see why maybe a few people would say that after reading Warburg's work. I don't understand why it's so pervasive and nobody goes back and checks what Dr. Warburg actually said. So don't get, don't get led down a path that alkalizing the body is the target or is the thing to do, because it is not. Giving the body everything that it needs and letting the body do its job is the thing to do. So when you look at those, I think it's just so, it's such a tragedy. I'll just say it's a tragedy that the medical industrial complex does not tell people or does not promote natural common sense. Of course, my aunt used to say sense isn't common. So, but these approaches have scientific basis. And I'm just so thankful that we're in a place where we can even discuss these things and also learn how to apply them. So please, 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 the three-pronged approach is the basis for maximizing your health and wellness. In our opinion, I think I have to say that. And yeah, we do have to disclaim, we have to say a disclaimer. We do not diagnose, treat, cure, mitigate, or prevent any diseases, right? I wouldn't even say the word cancer if it wasn't like directly in the article or directly a result of the research. But what we do is we give the body what it needs so that the body can achieve its optimal function, its optimal health. Mr. Hope used the word homeostasis. No, he used the word equilibrium. And that's one of my favorite scientific terms is homeostasis, or dynamic equilibrium. The body, moment by moment, is expending a great deal of energy to keep things in balance. So when you talk about the pH and the different compartments, that is such a brilliant example, because how can you have this acidic environment in the stomach, like from 1 to 3.5 that's like battery acid acidic, and the tissues around it, even the stomach tissues underneath the mucus are not that acidic. It's amazing how the body has all of these different compartments, and it expends a lot of energy in order to keep those compartments at the proper pH. So if we if we try to alkalize the body until everything in the body is alkaline, that's going to be a bad situation. Number one, we're fighting the body because the body already knows the balance. And the body, like I said, it expends a lot of energy to keep that balance with sodium, potassium, ATP pumps, with just all kinds of active pumps. It actively works on a cellular level, like Mr. Hope was saying, to keep the equilibrium. So when we're fighting our bodies, sometimes by giving it too much of a good thing, because it's still got to take that and expend energy to bring the body back into balance, back into equilibrium. And if the energy is not there, or if all of the vitamins and minerals aren't there for all of the processes, it will prioritize and it will divert the resources that it has to the most pressing need of the moment, which may leave for instance, your immune surveillance underutilized or I started to say underfunded. It will leave without the resources that it needs to do what it's designed to do, which is to spot these point mutations in the DNA that come up. Every time a cell divides, the DNA divides and is replicated. And there can be mutations. I mean, we've got trillions upon trillions of cells, and some of them are replicating more rapidly. Some of them replicate more slowly, but over time, there are an astronomical number of opportunities every day for new cancer cells to arise in our bodies. And if our immune system is on point, it's got its surveillance out, it's able to identify the abnormal cells, and it's able to take care of it with the cellular immunity, with all the different immune mechanisms. No problem, right? You don't even know that there was an abnormal cell, your body fixes it. Or an abnormal strand of DNA, an abnormal replication, an abnormal point mutation, your body fixes it. Mr. Hope and I talk about all the time about the automatic processes that happen in the body. And that the immune system is one of the most amazing systems in the body, but it needs a lot of resources to function properly on all the levels that it functions, from the skin to the bone and all the cells in between. So I hope that helped you today to understand a little bit better why we do not have as a goal to alkalize the body. And we do not parrot or agree with the conclusion that cancer cannot grow or cannot survive in an alkaline environment. The cancer makes its own environment. But what does it do? It uses that to hijack the cells around it with oxidative stress. We do have the means of helping our bodies and supporting our bodies in decreasing oxidative stress with hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. Okay, so I don't see any hands or questions, so maybe we'll get out to this beautiful day. I want to thank you all for being here. Look a little bit later for the replay on Kangen Water Radio. I'm still working on the replay from Wednesday's call, but I will get both Wednesday's call and today's call up on Kangen Water Radio on YouTube later today, including all the resources. I'll work on getting an email out to everybody as well. Let's see. I can't tell if I have everyone's email that's on the call now, but take a look. And if I don't, then that means you need to get your email to us. And you can do that by, by contacting us at KWNation7 at gmail.com. That's it. KWNation, the number 7 at gmail.com. You can call or text us, area code 866-526-4368. That's US toll free, 866-526-4368. And if you're overseas, you can use our UK line. That's +44 0800 086 9793. That's country code +44 0800 086 9793. Now, I did go back and look at our call topics log, which is going to be available to you in the call resources. And I have talked about this on 4 calls. Call number 79, maybe I'll bring that up. Okay, so our call topics log has all of our calls from 2018 to, we'll have to change that to 2021. Do that while I'm thinking about it. There we go. Okay, call number 79. What was that? That was part of our immune system series. So we see the immune system key, and we talked about fluid compartments. And that was the first time I referenced that we might be misquoting Warburg by talking about alkalizing the body, right? And we didn't complete the discussion, so we got back into it on call number 87 on Worldwide Wednesday. And I said, what did Warburg really say? And I actually dug up the original article, which I will put in the call notes as well. And then 361 and 362, we talked about the Warburg effect. Why? And the reverse Warburg effect, which is the first time that I was introduced to this topic. But to be able to show you those graphics today really helped me, I hope, explain it even better. But those calls, all of those calls were on freeconferencecall.com. That was when we were still audio. So we could bring just a little more juice to the subject. So what with the videos? Okay. So last check for hands, comments, questions. All right, I think we're good. So when you do go to YouTube, please, please, please like us, love us, share us, comment, subscribe. We want to make that a very lively, very vibrant, very valuable place for you as far as being able to grab hold of this information, share it, ask questions. If you think of a question later on, drop it in the YouTube. after I put it up. Okay. All righty. So I don't know, Mr. Hope, if you are back with us, but I am officially declaring this call over. And I love you all. All right. See you on Wednesday on Dr. Lisa Health Zoom. I'll notify you all of that. And have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the weekend. Mwah.